Hey everyone, what is up, man? If you've been following this channel, you know I like to take a look back at old electronics, gaming consoles, smartphones, all that stuff. But I literally tried so hard getting the Gameboy Advance SP for so long. And the problem is like, and I don't know why, but the Gameboy Advance SPs are still super expensive. And you know me, I'm a frugal guy. So I had to wait for the perfect moment to like swoop in and grab one. And I finally did. So we're going to take a look at it. Kind of a long intro, but man, the Gameboy Advance SP came out in 2003. And this year it actually turned 15 years old just back in March, and I never owned one of these when I was young, but I did have the original Game Boy Advance, which is, you know, the first one before this one, and I love that thing so much. Like, I babied that thing. I had so many games for that thing, it was crazy. But I literally just bought this one from Japan. I didn't go to Japan, I actually bought it on eBay, but it's pretty crazy this thing came from Japan and got shipped here. And like I said, this thing was so expensive, it was like $60. I was expecting this thing to be like $10, $15 because this thing's super old, but apparently this thing's like a collector's item now. And what's even crazier is that the Nintendo DS Lite, which is I guess a far better console than this, is much cheaper than this thing. You can get like a DS Lite for like $15 on eBay now. But looking around this thing, I mean, I'm pretty surprised by how this thing looks. It still looks pretty sick in my eyes. I kind of wish I didn't get the lime green color. I kind of wish I got it like dark or something. But now looking around, I was kind of surprised about the size of the charging port and all this stuff. But I was mostly surprised that this thing, I think this is an Ethernet port that this thing has. I don't know if I can verify that or not. I tried reading online, but I didn't really find anything about it. But if that is the Ethernet port, low-key, that is actually pretty sick. Now this thing does run Game Boy Advance games, obviously no surprise. One thing I realized is that the screen is way different than I thought. It kind of reminds me a lot of the first Nintendo DS, the original one. They kind of share the same screen, but when they jumped up to the DS Lite, they actually switched it up and it looks a lot better now. I'm not a huge fan of the screen, but I do have to remember that it came out in 2003, so it's super old. And just looking around it, I mean, you don't even have to know a lot about gaming consoles to realize the impact that this one gaming console had. I mean, think about it. Pretty much every single portable Nintendo console after this console used the folding mechanism thing that the Game Boy Advance SP started. So even my Nintendo 3DS XL that I use all the time, it got its design from this console, which is so crazy to think. Now, kind of switching it up a little bit, the game selection is amazing. I'm sure you guys all know that. I mean, there's classics everywhere. You got Mario, Sonic, Kirby, all those Nintendo guys, and you also have Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Now, I'm playing Crash Bandicoot Huge Adventure right now. I've already beaten this like 45 times, but playing this, it just brings so much nostalgia to me. This was one of my favorite games back when I was a little kid. And I know you're not supposed to, be emotional or whatever, but man, like playing this, it really humbles me to be like, I remember being like 11 and like I wanted one of these things so badly, and like now I'm looking like I can literally like ball out whenever I want to and just get one. It's kind of weird how things worked out. Now, I'm not going to say whether this thing is worth it or not, because it absolutely is worth it. I mean, it's a collector's item at this point. There's no questions about it. But this is such a staple for the whole gaming industry. It brought a backlight. It brought some flipping action, with the flipping mechanism thing that most Nintendo consoles after this still used. So it's super dope. I'm really glad I got my hands on it to kind of, have an experience with it, because I've experienced almost every other console except this one. I kind of wish I didn't have to drop like 60 racks on it, but whatever. I still can't believe the DS Lites are actually cheaper than this, but it is what it is. And guys, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comment section below. I read every single comment, so if you leave something, chances are I'm going to see it. Hit that subscribe button, that also means so much. We are actually still doing the iPhone 6s and iPhone SE giveaway. And in order to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and you're already entered. Links to those will be down in the description, as well as a video explaining more about the giveaway. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.